Hey beauties, this look was inspired by Kendall Jenner and super pretty Victoria's Secret models when they're walking down that runway, because they always have these super bronzed pretty looks, and I know it's summertime, I know you guys want to rock something really fun and easy, and this is it, so stay tuned. For primer, I'm using Maybelline Baby Skin, and I'm just putting a little bit of this onto the tip of my finger and spreading it over the areas of my face where I have larger pores. And I'm going to prime my lips as well using my Carmex Lip Balm. It's my favorite lip balm right now. I've really been into MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I picked it up again in NC15. This was the foundation that I used to wear all the freaking time as a kid, or not a kid, but when I was in high school, and I'm in love with it. It just has the best coverage ever. And I'm going to tap it all out using my Marc Jacobs The Face 2 foundation brush, and I'm just tapping it and patting it so that I don't get streaks in my foundation, and making sure I blend this down across the chin and all across my face. To brighten up beneath my eyes and across my face as a highlight, I'm using Naked by Urban Decay, and it's their skin concealer in Fair Neutral. I like to take it across the corners of my mouth because it kind of creates a contrast against my eventual contour shades. I know most people use beauty blenders to pat this out, but I like to use my same foundation brush because it works just as well, and I just love using brushes. I prefer them over beauty blenders. Now I'm taking Anastasia Beverly Hills Fair Cream Contour Kit, and I'm using a flat concealer brush. This is the MAC 249 to place high concentrations of that product on the areas of my face that I want to create more shadow in, so it looks more contoured and peeled back. I do have a cream contouring tutorial up on my channel, so if you want to see how I do this more in depth, including how I place all these different products across my face, feel free to watch that. And of course I have to contour my nose. I have a broken nose, and this is the only way that I can kind of get it to look straighter in photos, so I definitely contour my nose. And I'm using the Marc Jacobs The Shape brush to pat everything out. If you don't have this brush, you can also use any kind of dense synthetic brush, or your beauty blender if you have a beauty blender. I know everyone has freaking beauty blenders. Or you can use your fingers if you really want to get desperate. And when I'm patting out my contour, I just make sure that I'm not dragging it across my face, I'm just patting, because this way it diffuses and blends the product rather than spreads it across my face or removes it. With my pinky finger, I'm just grabbing a little bit of that lightest shade in there and dragging it down the tip of my nose. And I'm taking my Sigma F25 tapered face brush with the RCMA No Color powder and setting all across my face. I'm also setting beneath my eyes, of course, because I don't want my concealer to crease. And now I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills No. 12 brush and my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade in soft brown to create sort of a lighter shade in the front of my brows. I do have a brow tutorial where I kind of go more in depth on how I create my eyebrows because I have very sparse eyebrows, so if I don't do this, my face looks so ghostly, like there's no definition to it. So I definitely need to put pomade or some kind of brow product in my brows to give them some definition. For the tail end of my brows, I like to use the medium brown pomade, because it's just a little bit of a deeper color and it helps create kind of that fade at the center of my eyebrows where it gets darker at the end, because I know that in flash photography, the tails of my brows always fade out for some reason, so medium brown helps to counteract that and give them more of a really sharp tail. Then I'm just using the spoolie to comb them all out. And I'm taking Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel in Espresso to set my brows. Next I'm taking this flat definer brush by Sigma, and I'm just grabbing one of the lighter shades from my cream contour kit and using this to carve out my brows. This really just helps me clean up any mistakes I made when I applied my tinted brow gel or used any of my pomades, and I just blend that down into my brow bone. Ta-da! Next, I'm taking the Conceal Brush by Marc Jacobs, and I'm using the lightest skin-colored shade in the Cream Contour Kit, and I'm actually using this as a primer for my eyeshadow. I tried this recently and I was so surprised at how well it worked. It reminds me of using MAC's Painterly Paint Pot to set my lids, so that was really cool because now I can just do it all from one palette. Then I'm taking my Tarteist Contour Kit. This is in the fair version, and it's really pretty. I'm using the Real Techniques Setting Powder Brush, and I'm taking shade number 1 and using this to just set all over my eyes. Any kind of powder that matches your skin tone will work. Then I'm grabbing the Sigma E25, and I'm using the lightest contour shade in that palette, just a warm brown, to warm up my crease and set the foundation for a halo eye. I'm also taking that color into the inner corner and pulling it up into my crease. And going back in with that same brush and using the darker shade in that palette to deepen those colors. Next, I'm grabbing my Viseart Dark Matte palette with the MAC 222, just a thinner oval blending brush that's more dense and precise. And I'm grabbing a burgundy shade and deepening the outer corners of my eyes. Next, I'm grabbing a Sigma 252 flat shadow brush with MAC's Cocoa Motion pigment, and I'm picking it up on my brush and spraying it till it's wet with MAC Fix Plus, and I'm using this to apply it to the center of my lid and pat it out. If you don't use some kind of Fix Plus or eye drop solution to wet the pigment down before you apply it to your lid, it will just fall all over your cheeks and just completely ruin your look. And I like to have that bright under eye, and I don't like to mess with a lot of under eye fallout, so I definitely spray my pigments before I apply them to my lids. Now I'm just going to go back in with my E25 oval blending brush and warm up the creases of my eyes again, just over that pigment, to make sure that it's nice and blended out and that there are no harsh lines. Then I'm just grabbing a tiny flat shadow brush. This is a MAC 228, and I'm just using this to mimic the exact same shades that I used on my lid, on my lower lash line instead. So I'm just following the exact same pattern of shades. I'm also picking up Cocoa Motion pigment, and I'm still using MAC Fix Plus to apply this to my lower eye. This way it applies nice and creamy and it doesn't get all over the place. I know I said that already, but seriously, you have to spray it before you use it. To line my waterline, I'm using MAC's Stubborn Brown eyeliner. I couldn't remember what it was called for like 2 seconds. Of course, it's called eyeliner. And I'm using a nice brown because I have such pale skin that if I use black, it's like way too stark against my eyes. So the brown really brings out all of the pigments that I used. And I'm also using this to line in my inner lash line on my upper lid as well. And this just adds definition to your eyes. It looks a lot better when you do this. Next, I'm grabbing a MAC 168. It's just an angled blush brush, and I'm using this to apply the contour shades of that Tarteist palette to my cheeks. So I'm just deepening up the contour that I applied earlier and making sure that my face is nice and bronze. I'm also applying it all around the edges of my forehead and basically in just all of the areas that I normally apply my bronzer and my contour shades. And I'm using the darker shade to deepen up the contours in my cheekbones, as well as around the sides of my temples and my hairline. just making sure everything's nice and blended out. And I'm also, of course, bringing this underneath my chin. And for blush, I'm using Marc Jacobs the blush brush with the new Kink and Kisses Air Blush Marc Jacobs blush. That was such a mouthful. I really love this blush. It has such a nice, like, kind of glowing color to it. This is my first Marc Jacobs blush, actually, so I was really stoked to use it. This is Tarte's Exposed blush, and it's really similar to NYX's Nutmeg. I wouldn't say they're exactly similar. This is a little more rosy, but I'm using this to help blend Kink and Kisses on my cheek. Then I'm going in with my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil, and I'm adding even more bronzer to my cheeks because I really want to make sure that this look is really warm and it looks like I'm more tan. And I just want to look glowy and use all of the lighter features on my face to really bring my face forward. Of course, I need to add more, tons more. I literally caked on so much bronzer in this tutorial, like, this is bronzer porn, basically. Anytime I apply too much blush, I like to use bronzer to kind of melt it back into my face so it doesn't look so like pink or red. It looks more natural. Next, I'm taking this Benefit Hoola mini version, and I'm still using the same Marc Jacobs blush brush, and I'm using this to bronze my face even freaking more. Like, literally everywhere. I put on so much bronzer, you guys, you don't even know. Next, I'm taking this tiny Duo Fiber Oval Blending Brush, and I'm using this to kind of contour my nose with that Hoola blush, or bronzer. And I'm taking the new Sweets palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's so freaking cute and gorgeous. Oh my god. I'm taking Butterscotch and Taffy. They're like rose gold and butter highlighter shades. And I'm using the Luxie 522 highlighter brush to pack both of them on the brush and apply these to my cheekbones as well as above my brows and to my brow bone. And it's just nice and pretty. And I'm keeping everything bronzy, obviously. That's why I'm using all of these shades. Then I'm taking that same Duo Fiber brush I used to use Hoola on my nose, and I'm applying it to my brow bone. Then I'm grabbing Marshmallow because it's a really pretty light color, and I'm using this to apply it to my Cupid's bow and the tip of my nose. And a little bit of Taffy on the inner corners of my eyes as my inner corner highlight. Next, I'm taking my Benefit Roller Lash Mascara, and I just love this mascara. I use it way too often. If you guys have any suggestions for other mascaras I can try, let me know, because I use that way too much. Then I'm using my House of Lashes Siren False Lashes. Wow, I can talk. I'm using my Siren False Lashes by House of Lashes, and I applied it with my dark lash glue from House of Lashes. And I always go back in and apply an extra coat of mascara to my lower lashes to balance my eyes out. And I love this case, so amazing. Next, I'm using my Subculture Lip Liner by MAC, and I'm just lining my entire mouth with this and filling in my lips, not just lining with it. I'm basically using it as a lipstick, so completely filling my lips with it. And then I'm using Dior's Princess Ultra Gloss. It's just super bright and pretty, and it just creates like this pretty nude sparkly pink on the lips, and it's just so freaking gorgeous. Taking out these clips from my hair, and I'm setting my face with my MAC Fix Plus and fanning it off so it's nice and dry. And fixing my hair, and boom, done. Oh my gosh. I really wanted to do a voiceover for this tutorial because, you know, I, for some reason, am always doing talk-through tutorials, and it just takes me for freaking ever to edit them because I have to, like, listen to myself, and it's so much easier to just cut together footage that I'm not talking in and I'm just getting ready in. So anyways, I hope you guys love this look. It was inspired by Kendall Jenner and Victoria's Secret models because they always have these really like bronzy looks to their faces, and they're more natural than anything else. So I wanted to go for something that was really wearable and fun like this, and I hope you guys love it. Don't forget to leave a comment if you love it, subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and follow me all over the web on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, my blog, everywhere as Heycheri. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week.